editorials have entered into newspaper columns, and worse is that during elections, the media houses come out what they describe as a rate card to publish favorable news. Those political leaders or party who do not accept the rate cards receive a threat of adverse publicity. Editors no longer control the newspaper. It is being controlled by business managers who are more concerned with loss and profit account than to the contents of newspaper, and such managers admit that they are in the business of advertisement and the news is incidental. The surge of paid news and editorials are eating into the vitals of ethical journalism. And if the media, which is supposed to be the fourth estate of a democratic setup, indulge in unethical practices, it weakens the very basis of democracy. The media houses have flourished by leaps and bounds, but at the same time, the credibility of the journalists have gone to rock bottom. The majority of the journalists across the country wish to work professionally. They want to be the mirror of society and the voice of the voiceless, but their passion has become a casualty in the corporate web. They have become pawns in the hand of media houses, and their survival largely depends upon their mercy. To expect from them the high ethical values with the threat of losing the job and their livelihood is nothing but asking for the moon. If the journalists have no financial independence, they have no role in decision-making in difficult and important issues. Interference of business houses in newsrooms has sounded the death knell of journalism. When the world is flooded with fake and paid news, it is the duty of every journalist to guard themselves against this menace, failing which I am afraid their credibility will be lost and journalism would not be considered to be a part of a noble profession. Disproportionate space has been given to the celebrities in the entertainment industry and sports at the cost of social issues and issues of the existence of the common men, artisans, workers, and farmers. I am not for a moment suggesting that media should not report on them, but what I want to highlight is the disproportionate space at the cost of social issues and the plight of the common people. Inability of the major sections of the media to speak truth to the power is another challenge which the media has to overcome. A journalist, being the crusader of truth, does come in conflict with the government and authorities, and they are bound to report it without fear or favor. During the freedom struggle, Mahatma Gandhi once said, and I quote, "Freedom of speech and civil liberty are the very roots of Swaraj. Without this, the foundation of Swaraj will remain weak," unquote. If the fourth pillar of democracy is weakened, the whole edifice of democracy and rule of law, the lifeline of democracy, will be rendered fragile and susceptible to undesirable influence. All these challenges have to be met by none other than the community of journalists themselves. Challenges and threats are more from within than from outside. And it is the duty of all of us who value the freedom of the press to make efforts to overcome the challenge. I take this opportunity to congratulate the winners of the different awards who are going to receive it from His Excellency the Vice Chancellor of India today. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, sir. To mark this very special day, the Press Council of India is pleased to announce the release of the Souvenir 2017 titled Challenges Before the Media. It is my privilege to request the Honorable Minister, Srimati Smriti Irani ji, to please do the honor of releasing the souvenir and present its first copy to the Honorable Vice President of India. May I now request the Honorable Minister of Textiles and Information and Broadcasting, Srimati Smriti Irani ji, to kindly say a few words on this occasion. Thank you.
Excellency, Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Venkaiah Naidu ji, Chairman, Press Council, distinguished dais, our friends from across the world, and special guests, the future of mass communication from the state of Jammu and Kashmir, our students who are seated right at the back. At the onset, let me congratulate every media personality present here today and those who join us through telecasts across the nation. My best wishes on the National Press Day. When I had an opportunity, after the Hon'ble Chairperson delivered his opening remarks, I said, "You talk tough." He said, "On this dais, I'm the only one who can afford to do so." The fact that it's ably led by a gentleman who minces no words, a gentleman who has the courage to show a mirror to his own brethren, is in itself one of the biggest accomplishments of the Press Council of India. And that is why, perhaps, time and again we have said that self-regulation is the best regulation. Today, I have the honor of meeting two gentlemen who are seated amongst us, endowed by the Raja Ram Mohan Roy Award. And when we look at their history, when we look at their journey, it is fascinating that they began their career in the Indian media in the year 1960. And the anomaly is that the Press Council of India came into being in 1966. So that we have journalists such as Sarat Misra ji, as Sam Rajappa ji, who have in fact served the sector longer than the existence of the very council, is indicative of the strength, is indicative of the spirit of journalism that lasts and allows you to come through a journey which will have varied aspects of your country covered, an aspect which can develop year to year, an aspect that gives you courage to fight decade after decade and still come to a point in your life where you're appreciated by the very council that seeks to encourage journalism with the adage towards freedom with responsibility. I know that myself as a political activist, whenever I am on a dais with Shri Venkaiah Naidu ji, I always say we should speak less and hear him more. Given that most of us are fascinated by the repertoire of words that he spews, I will only say this today as the Information and Broadcasting Minister. The chairperson has very rightfully lamented about the rise of paid news. I will only add the terminology fake news to it. And the reason I do so today is that apart from the illuminaries we have from the media and the press amongst us and across the nation, we today have the citizen turning journalist through social media. So while we are aware that there is a code of conduct to which we all are beholden to, there is also the citizen at large that reminds us of our responsibility as the fourth pillar of democracy. I will only say this, that in my position now that I serve after it has been given up by the Honorable Vice President, those are very large shoes to fill. He is known for his magnanimity. I am known for being a bit temperamental. But I assure you that given the blessings of the Honorable Vice President, The fact that today I had the opportunity of presenting to him a souvenir aptly titled Challenges Before Media, he smiled at me and I said, well, sir, now you lead the House of Elders. Who better to present the challenges to a man who through his political journey has assuaged many of fears, put balms to many of those who have struggled and yet survived, in the hope that in his hands the media challenges one day turn into many solutions. I must here compliment the Press Council of India that you could have not had a more befitting gentleman today to preside over this function, yet again with assurance that the individual journalist that the chairperson highlights, that while we are supposedly in the business of truth telling, sadly it's still a business. So those voices that do not get pressurized by a check, that write irrespective of the imagery that is thrust upon them, that genuinely seek the truth for the very adventure of bringing that truth to life. It is those that I commit to support, sir. Those might not be voices that I might politically always agree with, but constitutionally, it will be our responsibility to ensure that they have the freedom to speak up. And even if we disagree, we support their voices. Yet again, my best wishes to every person today who celebrates the National Press Day. And yet again, those students who have come specially on the invitation of the Press Council of India from the state of Jammu and Kashmir, you are today seated with some of the legends of Indian media. I hope after this program, you take some time to have a conversation with them, because they have a box full of stories which never made it to print. Those stories actually are the ones that should be written someday or the other, for they will, in the business of 24/7 newsrooms, make for many a breaking news. Yet again, my best wishes and congratulations. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your precious thoughts today. With an innovative approach for recognition of talent within the journalistic community and acknowledging the ethical growth in journalism, the Press Council of India has instituted the National Awards to honor journalists, photojournalists, freelancers excelling in print journalism in various fields on the occasion of the National Press Day. The awardees of this year were finalized by the distinguished jury led by Shri Kundan Vyas. May I now request His Excellency, the Vice President of India and Honorable Minister Srimati Smriti Zubin Irani ji to please honor the awardees selected by the distinguished jury members. The prestigious Raja Ram Mohan Roy National Award for Excellence in Journalism is being jointly conferred upon eminent journalist Mr. Sam Rajappa and Mr. Sharat Mishra for their outstanding contribution towards journalism. May I request Mr. Rajappa to please come forward and accept the honor. May I request Mr. Sharat Mishra to please come forward and accept the honor. The next award in the category of Rural Journalism and Developmental Reporting is awarded to Ms. Shalini Nair from the Indian Express, Delhi. May I request Ms. Nair to please come forward and accept the honor. The award in the category of investigative journalism is being jointly conferred to Mr. K. Sujit, senior reporter, Mangalam, Delhi, and Ms. Chitrangada Chaudhary, freelancer journalist from Odisha. I request them to please come forward and accept the honor. May I request Ms. Chitrangada to please come forward and accept the honor. The award in the field of photojournalism in single news picture category is being jointly conferred to news photographer Shri C.K. Tansir from Chandrika, Delhi, and Shri Vijay Burma from Press Trust of India for their striking clicks. May I request them to please come forward and accept the honor. May I request Shri Vijay Verma to please come forward and accept the honor. The next award in the photo feature category is awarded to Shri J. Suresh, Chief Photographer of Malayala Manorama. May I request Shri Suresh to please come forward and accept the honor. The award in the category of Best Newspapers Art covering cartoons, caricatures and illustrations is conferred upon Mr. Girish Kumar MP, Times of India, Kerala. I would like to request Mr. Kumar to please come forward and accept the honor. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm deeply privileged now to invite His Excellency, the Vice President of India, Shri Venkaiah Naidu ji, to deliver the inaugural address.
केंद्र सरकार में मंत्री श्रीमती जुबी ईरानी जी, प्रेस काउंसिल का अध्यक्ष न्यायाधीश श्री चंद्रमौली कुमार प्रसाद जी और प्रोफेसर सुदेव हकर, विभा भार्गवा जी, कुंदन रामलाल व्यास जी और मेरा सामने बैठे हुए सभी महानुभाव, मैं ऐसा मेरा सौभाग्य मानता हूँ आज इस पवित्र कार्यक्रम में आके आप सब लोगों का दर्शन हुआ। जब मैं एंटर किया, जब पॉलिटिक्स में एंटर किया, उस समय से मैं श्याम राजप्पा को देखते थे and he used to be a very ideal journalist. जब मैं एग्जिट हुआ पॉलिटिक्स से, पब्लिक लाइफ से नहीं, पॉलिटिक्स से, आज भी जब एंटर किए तो उनको देखा हुआ मन में बहुत प्रसन्नता आया. आई फेल्ट वेरी हैप्पी. एंड देन ऑल्सो you have a lot of distinguished people in this gathering. Swari Swarabji also is here. You, by facilitating these people, or by meeting and greeting these people, the purpose of felicitation, I always